Balabe baffe aba DreamTV twongera okubanirizaako nate olwaleero mu programu yaffe ya Loud It Show neera nga bw'eri enkola yaffe tutandika ne segment ya Spotlight nga neera tukimanyi bulungi nti mu Spotlight wano we amplifying talents ne tukuleetera ebitone eby'enjawulo abaana ab'enjawulo tusobola okukulaga kiki kye balinawo neera olwaleero nga ndi mu kitundu kino omukulu ono gwe tukyazizza ajja kwogera okutubuulira kitundu ki gye tulimu naye nga tuleese omwana ow'enjawulo agenda kubako kyatulaga mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu. Omukulu
sebo
nsaba obuuze ku bantu nga tetunaba kugenda wala nnyo.
Balamusizzaako mwenna abatwala ku DreamTV. Poza amanya gange nze Mukisa Henry.
Mukisa Henry tusanze okulaba mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu. Obulamu buli butya?
Obulamu si bubi.
Nkulaba okwataganye.
Nkwataganye sebo.
Ogenda tukolerayo ki olwaleero kakyako k'olina?
Ngenda kwolesa kitone ngeri y'okusinza Katonda.
Ey'okusinza Katonda. Ako k'okuteba kayita batya?
Eno bagiyita trumpet.
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 Sooka otuweemu trumpet nga sinabagira nnyo. Tuwereddwa nnyo omukisa neera nkakasa bulungi naawe ali ewaka eyo oweereddwa omukisa akayimba ayinza okuba takoogedde mu ntandikwa naye kali well known akayimba okamanyi mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu naye nga nyongera okutegeeza amannya agange mpitibwa Sempal Hillary neera nga nze host w'olwaleero nga budde bwe tukikola basooka tujja mu mpewo nga tunawe kweyongerayo nnyo mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu naye nyongera okutegeeza gwe yenna yeetaaze okutulabira ku mikutu egy'enjawulo osobola okutulabira ku simu yo actually osobola ogenda ku Google Play Store bw'oba olina Android phone no down teekamu Victory Uganda app n'ekuweereza ka app ako oba otufuna bulungi ku simu yo neera tuli ku YouTube bw'oba oyagala okutulaba ogenda n'oteekamu buteesawo ku YouTube DreamTV Uganda neera ojja kuba otufuna bulungi mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu naye mukulu weebale nnyo omulimu ogwo.
Amina sebo.
Kwataako mu bugalo.
Amina sebo.
Kati wako wakayigirawo kafuuwa.
Kantu kano nakayigira mu kyalo eyo Luweero.
Esezo oli Luweero?
Ndi Luweero sebo.
Luweero side ki Luweero munene?
Luweero Kasana Kyemmanyi simanyi kisinga kaawo.
Soko tubire ku bantu beruwere kasera kwa nkakasa bakulaba gati.
Abantu beruwere bonna mbatumiddeko bazadde bange gwokyalya Nula mama nzaala n'abaganda bange bangi era ne baganda bange bonna mbatumiddeko n'abalala mwenna mu kitundu abandaba ne nga muntegeedde aberuwere muli eyo omwana wammwe leero gwe tuleese mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu atugambye akantu yakayigireeyo ani yakusomesa oba gwe wakeera bukeezi nga saakeera bukeezi nalina okuyaaya n'okuyiga kino nalina okutekinga step okunoonya wa wensi okiyigira era nafuna brass band emu gye nayigiramu okutuuka wano.
Ekitegeeza buli muntu afuwa akantu bwe kati asookera mu brass band.
Mulimu abatasookerayo abagenda mu music schools naye nze omukisa ogwo ndowooza saagulina kuba n'obusobozi obwo nyinza okuba nabo saabulina naye omukisa ogwe nafuna nange gwe nakozesa. Tusiimye nnyo kyotuwadde mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu omwana wa Katonda omulamu. Ogambye bagiyita trumpet. Wakamala emyaka emeka ng'ogikommonta bagifuwa? Kintu ekyo kitawanyamuko.
Tugendera
tukireke bulesi.
Myaka emeka?
Emyaka giri 10.
Myaka 10.
Okutwaliza awamu.
Awo tukuyite kafulu oba kafulufulu? Sisobola
kuba kafulu kubanga munayo kuyiga kuno tekuggwaayo. Bantu ne betulabanga abamanyi ennyo era bafa nga tebayize ebbimalayo. So kati ngezaako kusinziiramu ekyo kyenkola n'ekisa kya Katonda. Akantu ako kanfuyidde bulungi mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu. Kiki ekyakusikiriza okutandika okommonta mu bivuga byonna kubanga nkimanyi waliyo bingi, waliyo ennanga, waliyo gita, bingi naye gwe lwaki walonda yaako? Just okutwaliza wamu we nayingira brass band kale nalina okuyaayana okwokuyiga kivuga ekyo nga ndaba bandi nga ziyitawo ate ne mu kusookera ddala nali manyi bandi z'abaana b'abagagga. Sokoleke ekitegeeza walinga ffe abalabanga bandi netujja kukyona n'owulira okwagala okwo n'owulira nga kikusika era omuntu talenti we mubaamu tekyebulizaayo. Naye mu byonna lwaki teweegomba guno ogunene bwe gutyo ogwassaako? Nalabanga kano mu bandi nagenda otuukayo nga ate ndaba ke kayimba n'ennyimba naye ndaba nga kajja kunkolera bulungi. Kiseeza ogunene teguyimba? Ogunene guteekamu buteesi baakaapu naye kano kali kayimbira ddala ennyimba nga kikanneegombesa. So you were inspired by that band eya brass band. Okay. Musomesa ani eyakuyigiriza? Abantu awo wali wankubyewo ekimmooni? Musomesa bamuyita Mr. Sam. Welike Sam. Yes, akyaliyo? Gyali eruweere. Naye mutumiddeko omulinnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu. Abiina. Tuli so much blessed n'akayimba k'otuwadde. Onkakasa pozi bakayita kayimba ki? Waliwo ayinza okubeeyo nga takamanyi? Bakayita Oli Katonda by Justin Nabosa. Yes, kayimba kalungi nnyo. Olinayo obulala bw'olinayo? Nayo obulala. Olinayo obubwo gwe nga gwe? So obwange kuba kava. Kuba kava kantu osobola kakubirako zizo? Kisoboka lwakuba ate nze siri muwandiisi nti oba ninayo ezange ez'empandiisa okuzikuba. Okitegeera bulungi. Kale olwaleero lunaku lw'okutulaga kiki olinawo okulaga ensi nkakasa abali ku DreamTV bakulaba neera saagala kulyaza amanya njagala otwongereyo piisi endala mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu.
gwe ojja kututwala mu modi y'okusinza ate ng'enkya Sande kakati gyewatutwala empolampola akatu ako kayimbye okakufuuye bulungi
tiwa kya Mukama
nyongera okwebaza
amina
naye muntu ki yakuinspiring okutandika okufuuwa obuntu obwo ng'ogyeko yakusomesa omuntu gw'otunda n'ogamba nti ya
waba omuyimbi omamwita Nathan Basse
aliwo yena
akuwa trumpeting ate ayimba we Nigeria so bwe wakikola nga kyayongera okumpushinga okwagala okwongera okikola mu ngeri gye ndi mugezaako kikola yesebu
so oyagala kikola nga ye oba oyagala kikola okusinga ye oba obutamusinga
njagala nkikola okusinga ye olw'ensonga nti Yesu bwe yali addayo yagamba tulikola n'ebisinga ku ebyo tulikola n'ebisinga ku ebyo by'ataakola yesebu
amiina so oyagala omusingeko
nsukulume kuba Katonda gwe tusinza w'amaanyi akola ebitasoboka yesebu
akantu ako osobola okukafuuwa mu ttendo oba kakusinza kokka mpulidde ennyimba z'otuwa zakusinza zokka
ne mu ttendo kakolayo naye mpulira nga emmemme yange ekulukutira nnyo mu kusinza
eza gwe oli nnyo mu kusinza
kinkolera nnyo
naye nga bwe tukusuula ne mu kutendereza
naye nkikola
okikubirayo tewali buzibu naye ekirala buzibu ki bwe wasisinkana bwe wali oyiga kubanga abantu abasinga wabeerawo challenges tusisinkana nga tulina ebintu bye tuli mu kuyiga gwe wasanga buzibu ki okuyiga akantu kano era kyakutwalira bbanga ki
ekyokusookera ddala mu kuyiga wano ku Afirika yaffe ku lukalu lwa Afirika ebiseera ebisinga abazadde tebatusapootinga nnyo mu talenti zaffe bafokasinga nnyo ku kigambo kusoma ekitali kibi kuba nakyo kirungi nnyo naye bo balowooza nti okusoma kwe kuggyayo omuntu yenna talenti ne babanga bagisuuliridde so wekiyingira notandika okyenyigiramu osanga challenge ey'okuba tolina support
soko komawo kagambo ki koyinza okugamba abazadde nga bafaayo nnyo ebitabo of which nga ogambye kirungi naye ate nga talenti z'abaana bo tebazifuddeeko nnyo kikyoyinza okubagamba
abazadde mwena abali eyo ensonga y'okuba nti temufa ku talenti si kintu kituufu olw'ensonga nti talenti ne bayibuli ekyogerako nti ekitone ky'omuntu kimuseguliza teyagamba nti ekyo ebitabo by'omuntu bimuseguliza yayogera ku kitone okuyitambirawo bino Katonda byatuwa nti bye bitone bye tulina so kiba kirungi nnyo ne tuteeka nnyo essira ku kitone ky'omwana kubanga ekitone kyo wonna w'okisudde kimeruka tekibanga bira ebitabo nabyo naye siri mu kuba bitabo naye ekyokulwaza tubigatte wamu tuleme kwawula kino kyekisinga kibalansinge mu ngeri nti byonna tubyetaaga mulala kuba Katonda waba yampa ekitone ate nenkiziika nga ate Katonda yennyini eyantonda yakimpa siraba nga kintu kituufu so ekitone tukirowoozeeko abazadde
so challenge emu ey'okuba nga tebabasapootinga nnyo challenge endala
era challenge ezisinga zetolera mu butafuna sapooti sijja kugamba nti kikuba n'okuba nga ofuna ekyuma kino byuma bya bbeeyi biri expensive so nakyo kifuna era kiva amabega ga sapooti eri gy'ofuna so kyetolera ku sapooti sijja gamba nti challenge esinga okuba y'amaanyi yeeyo
so abazadde bongera okubeera supportive eri abaana be balabyemu ebitone naye ng'oggyeko nera okubeera supportive gwe nga gwe n'akuuma kano tolina buzibu oba kuba ndabye okozesa nnyo emimu amata tegatuuka okwabika
era challenge eyo nayo weeri nti era ebyuma bino eno ngera wenkugamba nti ebyuma bino tubikuba bikosa munda yaffe tetusigala kyekimu olw'ensonga nti kisooka tulya bubi omala okuba ekyuma noddayo n'otukira ku muwogo naye nga si muwogo mmere naye ekyenda kino oba omaze okikunyakunya oba weetaaga oteekemu ekintu ekiri soft obutongera tekikalabula bukalabuzi oyinza okwekanga nga olwadde ekyenda nga okifunyemu obuzibu so era kyetoloola kidda ku sapooti singa sapooti ebaawo basobola omumanya kyetwetaaga naki kyetuteetaaga okutambula obulungi ne talenti zaffe
weewaawo kagambo kyakalala koyinza osuulira yavuga kuba obudde butukutte kikyoyinza ogamba omuvubuka ali eyo ng'alina ekitone naye nga tannaba kwezuula oba nga yeezuula naye nga yeetya oyinza mugambayo kigambo ki?
Omuvubuka ali eyo ng'olina ekitone oba nga tonnaba kwezuula. Guno mukisa munene nnyo okubanga bampadde akisa kano okukyogerako. So nkusaba dduka mbiro nnyo tolwawo. Awo wonna woolaba osobola okututumula ekitone kyo ojje okikozese. Olw'ensonga nti ekitone nze saasoma nnyo era siyinza kugamba nti nyina omulimu guno olw'okuba nasoma tosobola nakunnoonya lwa bitabo. Olw'ensonga nti nze siina nnyo buyigirize, siina kye mmanyi mu buyigirize. So naye ate munnaaye okuyita mu kukozesa ekyuma kino Katonda antaddeko ekisa kyankoze obulungi obutenkanika. So temukireka kubanga nakiyamba mu ngeri endala. Kiyinza okuyamba mu bulamu, oyinza n'okukisuula nga tekikyandikutaasizza
nga kyekirina okuyisaawo ebiseera ebiddako. Naye kaakati waliwo akayimba kamubadde musembyeyo ng'okuba njagala otandikire kayimba ako otuweeyo tweyongereyo mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu. Okweyongerayo naye obudde bututwala sipiidi owooluganda olina omusumba
nyina omusumba sebo
osabira ku kanisa
full gospel
eyawa
Luweero
Luweere waffe wali eriweero amiina omusumba yani
omusumba amuyita pastor Kayowa
pastor Kayowa tweyanzizza nnyo twereddwa nnyo omukisa eri ekitone ekyo nera tukkiriza Katonda kotuuse ku DreamTV ebintu tebijja sigala kyekimu naye akaseera kano omuntu akwetaaza kufuna atyo olina enamba y'essimu oli ku Facebook social media yonna
nyina enamba y'essimu ngera yekola ne ku WhatsApp sisukka waawo awo enkoma mpozi enamba yange ya Airtel eri 0703 43 8 0 ne 3
giddemu
0703 43 8 0 3 yesebo
nera bajjukiza amanya ani gwe baba saving
teekako Mukisa Henry muliramu emirembe
omufuuyi wa Trumpeter tweyanza nnyo Mukisa Henry Mukama akutuweera omukisa nera ntwala akaseera kano okujjukiza abantu mwenna abali avubuka ng'olina ekitone ekyenjawulo ng'olina special talent naye ng'oyagala ogikozesa okugulumiza Katonda jangu waneeno ku DreamTV ku offices zaffe ojja kuba otufuna bulungi tusobole nawo okuteekateeka tulabe nga tukwakaaganya bwe kati mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu. Amannya nsigadde nze Sempal Hillary neera ng'oluva wano tugenda mu segment eddako eya talk show neera tovaawo mu linnya lya Mukama waffe Yesu.
You're watching DreamTV.
Ku Sunday eno aba Victory Christian Center Church bakwaniriza okusinzizaako awamu nabo. Service esooka etandika ssaawa emu paka ssaawa 3, ey'okubiri netandika ku ssaawa 3 paka ssaawa 5, olwo ey'okusatu netandika ku ssaawa 5 paka ssaawa 8, ku ssaawa 8 paka ssaawa 10 bayina ey'olweggulo. Jangu tutendereze, tusinzize wamu, tusabe era tuwulire ekigambo kya Katonda, obulamu bwo tebuusigale kyekimu. Victory Christian Center Church esangibwa ku Old Masaka Road nga wakava ekibuye oba ku Ring Road okulinaana olubiri lwa Ssaabasajja Kabaka.
watching Dream TV.
Welcome back from that very amazing segment of your Spotlight. Tongero Kwaniriza to our show. This is the Loud It Show. This show is here to enable you, the youth, to take charge of your life. We want to thank you, Hillary, for such an amazing, presentation. The Trumpeter was very, very good. We're really, really blessed. I want to welcome you from your week. I know that it has been amazing. I know that somebody has a testimony out there, and I mean, that is our prayer. Yes, and now this is our segment, the panel segment, where we're going to dig into issues where we talk about life and where we talk about very, very interesting, amazing stuff. And this month we are talking about faith and technology, or call it technology and faith. Today we have a very interesting subtopic, but before we get into that, my name is Kahimakazi Priscilla, and I am your host, and I'm very, very excited to be part of your weekend, for you to be watching us. Please call somebody, let somebody know that Loud It is loud. We are on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and also the Victory app. You can download it on either Android or iOS. You can get it and watch us on the go. You have no reason not to catch the show. So as you can imagine, our biggest problem on this show is time. How time runs, I can't tell it all, but I would love my amazing panelists to introduce themselves in a word or two so that we can get straight into what we're talking today. Yes, please.
Welcome. My name is Philip Konde, and I'm glad to be here once again.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Priscilla. Thank you so much, the technical team and the doctor himself.
for the opportunity.
Yeah, for the opportunity.
Amazing.
Okay, good afternoon to everybody watching us. My name is Loretta Kasana Tebandeke, and it's always a pleasure. I tell you every Saturday, it's a very great pleasure to be with you, to be coming to you live and sharing on these important issues. Be blessed.
Amen.
Good afternoon. I'm Harriet Glosh Namuyanja. I'm so humbled to be part of this today.
You're welcome. What do you do, Harriet?
I'm a specialist in IT technology.
We brought for you guys who are relevant to that issue. So as we are talking about technology and faith, today we are going to take particular interest on what we call digital addiction. Digital addiction. We want to understand what digital addiction is in the first place before we talk about it so much more. So I'd love to ask my people here, what is digital addiction? When you hear the word digital addiction, what comes to your mind? I'll start with you, gentlemen.
What comes to my mind is, briefly, is the dependence, that digital dependence, when you depend on digital devices, digital media, digital social media, that dependency, that's what I can call digital addiction. Being addiction to something, you depend on it.
Right.
Yes.
I don't think I'm going to go very far from what Philip has said. It's really overindulgence, excessive indulgence. For me, I'd like to call it overindulgence, especially to derive like a pleasure. To derive a pleasure or something, yeah.
Okay, so to me, I think so kwangelako, it's like lack of self-control over something. So ngoli ku digital without control. So nefuka addiction.
Kubanga addiction chintu chota you can't do without. In short, chintu nga chili Chili part of your life. Never did soma, and I realized that that digital addiction is almost unavoidable. Kubanga, there are 3 types of digital addictions that I have discovered. There is phone addiction, social media addiction, and internet addiction. These are things that somehow wesanga na wuli you're caught unaware into it, you know. Noberanga you somehow uzuka. There's this thing we're talking about it. Esimu yeri probably off toina data na yo ulira notification. Oba yo nyo otambula phantom vibrations. Yes. Noberanga you where you are and your phone is vibrating. You hear it ding, and we are ping, and you're like, nenga tell you there's a message. There's no one even. The phone could even be off, you know. Yeah. So I was reading and it showed there's a study that has showed that over the years, the usage of the digital world has increased from what would have been, say, 20 hours a week. From 20 hours a week to 80 hours a week right now. It's really crazy. It is very, very alarming. So the question is digital addiction stunting our spiritual growth? Because we have to relate technology to faith. That is what we are doing this month. Digital addiction, you know, is stunting our faith. It's stunting our spiritual growth. What happens? Because by all means, it stunts our spiritual growth. Sure. You know. So and I want to hear from you and Mumbulire, what your opinions are on that.
Well, I would say for starters, there's something that you said that digital addiction is unavoidable.
Almost.
Almost.
Yes.
And
yes.
Almost. It's almost unavoidable. Nayenga, there's so many people who are living lives balanced well and all of that. Nayenga, definitely digital addiction is something which stunts our spiritual growth. Kuanga, you'd imagine there's so many of us, the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, if you're married, if you're not married, if you have kids, naturally, there's just that group of people that the first thing that you do without even saying your morning prayers, even in the middle of the night, hello, you're trying to get back to sleep. Some of us were even culprits. Pillow, right? You have come on. The phone is somewhere within your reach. Whether you have data, whether you have data, whether you don't have, you're opening to check.
I want to check my alarm. Lies. Ending up addiction.
Really. Yes, Kati. Era webuze chintu choli highly dependent on like that. Era wetutadda wali twali twogera about last week, trying to moderate the time that you give this thing to. Era wesanga time je wandi waddeyo okusaba olumu wesanga we've been there. You go into your prayer closet, there's just that itchy feeling. You want oyagala kuva mu prayer closet mu budde ogende not that email
or demu WhatsApp
ne wabanga tewali even if you don't have anything
just kulaba birimusi
it's sort of like over a FOMO, fear of missing out. Shorter money you didn't maybe you didn't post something to Gambe, you want to go and see what the reaction was like. Now you just want to see swipe until singa simu zali banange zigwerera simanya esimu z'abantu abamu singa balina it's so slim because the swiping rate
is really swiping.
I think wasn't no question. There's a time a friend of mine shared with me. Nagambe simu abatajirina like abanga junkie. Like it's like when a man the line is so thin. Sigamati tasa abera uneasy. Or yaga nesimu. You might even be watching us from home when you put your phone down to charge. Do you realize how many of you take the time of simu nojireka nejura 100% if you have just that one phone? Toina tab, toina chona. Nga your phone is your lifeline. Tojire sina bagambe simu otajireka nejura banango inzo kono na battery. Perhaps ojitekako 20% chimala.
Okay. Ngotandika ngokoze plugged in
ogena kuba ne devotion time. Dine obango jina what is it looking like?
Size yayo compared to the other things.
What is that quality? Is it quality time really? Or it's just taking off into mukama?
Nasabyejo.
Come on.
You know.
Yeah, for me I really think it's something. If we talk about addictions, nzingamba that technology, digital addiction has been something which is fighting so many Christians and their growth in Christ.
Honestly. Yes, Harriet.
Yeah, I think to add on her point, now even concerning family, like digital addiction, let's say war conflict, between the families nti omufumbo abaana ne maama like relationship waliwo gap nti omuntu wana let me say wanayogera n'abaana be batuule osanga maama ali ku simu ali ku TikTok.
I mean
like tuli mu church omusumba abuulira oli kudamu and sometimes we have Bibles, you know, apps nyingi nnyo eza Bible ku simu, so it becomes an addiction into oba okyasoma Bible
ne kapopinga
ne kumanyika sengambe kwejo Harriet Chagambi. Do you know wobera, let me say you're having your devotion time of Holy service and that notification comes in. This is something I have tried to train myself over the years. These are instant messages.
Yes.
Chizibu nyontino omuntu wa, if you write back to that person, it's going to be an endless conversation.
You're opening that end. It's an end-to-end. Yes.
It's not going to
opening,
end.
Yes.
You again nakudamo omudemo mugambi, by the way ndi mu service.
Service. You know, and
your attention evudde kuto kyamanyi na musumba wabadde yegwa agwira neighbor agambe what scripture they said,
what verse,
biebe byoddamu.
I mean,
so what Harriet is talking about is really true.
Very true. Tobadde okyamalayo.
Yeah, so nti abavubuka naddala omulembe gwaffe nti omuvubuka mu church mbadde okyali party ya church nti omusumba w'ababuulirira ekigambo nga ogambye omaliriza oli kuki kusimu.
So you've deviated.
Yeah, it has become an addiction nti sometimes tulabamu n'ebintu ebibi ebiri negative.
You don't even dictate some of the content. You enter that group, you are wedding, reunion. Group sometimes you wake up and you're like so many groups you reach your gallery or movie content. Where did this come from?
But maybe the problem is not the digital these media handles.
No, it's not a problem.
Maybe the problem is with the addiction.
The user.
The user until they are addicted to something. And there is a challenge there, by the way, mainly in our generation, whereby everything is now digital. Most of the people, for example, we are talking about someone in church, he's on phone. Do you know that some people, they don't have these Bibles, hard copies. They're on phones. Most of the people's notebooks on phones.
Of course. So
the preacher is preaching, I'm writing notes.
But I need to
yes. Something comes in.
Then there was if you're going to use your phone or some Bible, no call and notes, just disable that. Disable data. Bible
but also addiction
I
is
can do
not.
all things through Christ who strengthens me.
But Priscilla, addiction is not only on phones. Even on TVs, even on we have most of the youth. They want to play these video games.
Yes.
That is also even movies, even girls. Priscilla, you enjoy.
Yes. I was talking about it. We were coming. I have a challenge. I don't like tension, the suspense. Kati, kasiri katani. Mani no kamala. Na you see, sometimes the chikola sense because I'm going to enter into my. There's a time I watched a series as like a whole season. 30 minutes. Wagunde wataira period. 30 minutes. Like next mukwano. It was 4 in the morning. I'm like, wow. Now 4 in the morning, there's no going back. You are supposed to have rested. You can't do that. I'm sorry to cut you.
No, it is okay. You know, we have to believe that in our generation we are digital. It's a digital world.
That is fact.
And it's the most challenging part.
That is what I'm saying. It is almost impossible to survive this
without.
Because this is our season now.
You cannot, for example, I personally, I don't want pretense, I cannot live without a smartphone. I cannot live, I cannot spend a day without checking on my TikTok account. You
know, you're not working.
Yes, no, even if you are working, even at a workplace, most of the people they do TikTok from workplace.
What I'm saying,
for example,
if you don't check,
for example, this for example, in the morning, what a deal video.
your marketing, your business.
Every time, you know, every time a notification pops up,
those stats to come in to know how am I performing.
Now that is a challenge now. And the truth is, it is stunting our faith in a certain unspiritual growth. Yes, it is good in the world we are in developing the technology, because marketing.
Yes, for the people who are making these things.
Yes.
To a high dependence.
Yeah.
And for them, I think what they go for. If I don't have it, I can't live without it. Yeah. So being able to every single the release, I was reading that we release a certain hormone called dopamine, all right? Yes. So it keeps you wanting more. Olaba tugambe Netflix. Have you realized that there's just that they tell you just next episode. Next episode. Now when no one even if it could have taken you a second to say, you know what, let me go to bed. It has loaded itself. Like who am I? Who am I now?
You know, God was mysterious.
Come on. But just one more. Just one more. If you don't have that to be self-aware and to also realize and say, you know what, if I do this like this right now, if I overindulge here, I'm going to time into it, and it's going to affect my life, or it's going to affect this amount of work in this certain way, which we don't have. At the end of the day, who are we accountable to? Family olumu abantu abandi kugambieko, for some of us abantu you're the steer of your own life. You get it? My phone,
with
my
Jesus as the way,
right? So, and your family bagamba ko katono banange Loretta you always have a comeback. You always have a comeback.
But I'm working, mommy. I'm researching.
But have you ever been in a situation whereby you have tasked yourself to read the Bible? You put your phone there, data on. Now there is a problem of focusing. This is what I call addiction. I'm going to read the Bible for 30 minutes.
This is
you get
God.
Now the phone is I personally, it is one of the things challenging. You put the phone there, you say I'm going to do this. If now a notification pops up saying someone commented on your video. Now you have to go and check the video. Now I think that is addiction. The phone is not the problem, but commanding yourself and tasking yourself that from this time to this time I'm going to be doing this. But the challenge is we find ourselves that even the time for praying and reading and doing what academics, Bible, faith, the phone, the digital world influences the whole of our lives. That is what we call addiction. Because some of them, they don't know what addiction is.
It was addiction when they say addiction.
Yes.
Alcohol, drugs, but it's digital addiction. We have come to bring awareness to you. And we want to enlighten you, and also to help you check yourself. Do you relate? Are there some things you do? Like, what do you do in the morning when you wake up? Go to work. Where do you start your day? What do you do? What's the first thing? Honest question. Where was our viewer out there? What do you do? Honest thing. And no one is seeing you. No one is saying anything. What is the first thing you do in the morning?
You know, the person could even say, you know what, me, I say my morning prayer before I get onto my phone.
I check my scripture because my Bible is on my
but
my
also,
phone.
If you're like, the value of Muntu in that good balance. But also, we want you to be very honest with yourself and work with when you go into that morning prayer time. What is that quality? What does it look like? Mukama wakeberesa wezo oliwamu oba oliawo. Maybe it may not even be umutanizo gamba kati mugera ku digital addiction. Maybe there's something else na ye chimukula batya echimulia echimutwalirizo obudde. But today we're just talking about digital addiction. And probably, you know, something I think Priscilla we should talk about for somebody atulaba omuyambo okumanya what does digital addiction look like. Kati ayinza okubalowooza kati mwogedde ku kino ntino wenkera ku machasira not think about anything else. What are some of those things
I tell you I'm going to wake up and multitask. We can do all things. things. I'm going to be saying my prayer as I go through my TikTok, as I go through. I'm a mom, I'm a businesswoman.
No concentration. There is no focus.
I'm a mom, I'm a businesswoman, I'm a student. Kolaka research I have a presentation. No saba, you know. Mukamera said aganyonti no mfunaka kona mfukamire. No, that's not what it is. But like what we're trying to say, bringing across is we are checking ourselves to be aware because digital addiction exists. Digital addiction is real. Digital addiction is really one of the biggest cause of problems right now. Like people are falling sick. People are losing esteem. People don't even believe in themselves just because of what they believe is on the internet. It is social media because of the standards set there, because of, you know, between Twitch and what do people say? You're depend. It has made people dependent on other people's opinions because we are hearing people's opinions on these things. So, we are here to help you check your life and, you know, ask yourself, am I bending towards this addiction? How deep am I in it? You know, because what we're truly fin at a certain level.
You're talking about now, I think to get the social media dependence, so you're highly addicted. Why you get into, you know, digital addictions, and you listed a couple of things, but there's also people who are gamers, you know, and they're addicted to that game, right? What does it look like when somebody talks about digital addiction? What katenzo gamba? If you're unable to moderate yourself, the line might be thin. Either you're already addicted or you're on the way to be to addiction. Or maybe you're in the middle of another task. You cannot take it out of your mind or yes, you're looking for that digital enabler your job but might not necessarily be social media, you may not be a gamer.
There's this thing called Fantasy Premier League for sports people. I know people very because I love sports. I love sports. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm a Man U, but to me but like just say but like what I was saying is FPL. I was speaking about FPL, you know. People are Olina Aberanga Vaku week. Agamba game days, game matches. I don't know what they call it. I hear it a lot. I don't come but like what we're saying is there are very many forms of digital addiction. We're not just saying phones, we're not just saying social media, not just internet. Who you're talking to video games, you could even be addicted to TV. Talking to series and movies, you could be addicted.
Ngojeko TikTokers and other people, they are more likely those ababu series musinga addicted. No, addiction in any nyona dala mumu abala ababu series. Why? Because you are addicted. For me personally, siraba ndaba movies, but I don't watch series. Unless
why don't you watch series?
Because I'll be addicted.
Is that the reason why?
That's really, number one.
You woke up in the morning and say, you chose. I will not watch a series.
No. Let me tell you. No, that is the fact.
He woke up in the morning. Okay.
Botani kolaba seri. No laba kubanga ate bana ababuzanya bayina amagezi mangi. Wanonga mukamaliriza bakolekamu. You must go back and say, let me go up and pick up the part.
I'll never watch series because I force myself when I start, I'll be addicted.
Yes. Not that I've ever, and I know, and I'm seeing people who are always addicted on movies.
True, you can be.
Go addicted. Bokalaba, there are many people for example, let me give you another example. Wali already mtu awuliriza omuzanyo kubanga tuli bato up to now kuchaliko bogenda mukyalo era osanga mukadde agamba sawa za gundi zituuse
what time top
you get that
we are lingera game in Nigeria prime time you guys that time was I don't know that era yaliwo nga oba saluni oba bawaka like for some reason esiyo nayo nange
isn't that an addiction
twali addicted nga tugamba kinajja kimpitako kitya
papa
the moment of my life ono twalaba bu soaps telemundo zezojirawo nga ziri ku mainstream media va kuzino nti now there's telemundo ape people are addicted to stuff like Big Brother ngoli azuka mu kiro and we are showing you the types of digital addiction mukwano gwafe atulaba so that you examine yourself. We are here to help you take charge. I repeat,
and
we
also
want you to take charge of your life in a godly way, you
and
know?
Also Priscilla, one of the ways womanyira nti now you are addicted, for example nga obadde inako data oli ku TikTok what olaba data nagwako naye ng'olina sente ng'olina ne sente ne ku mobile money ng'olinako ezikako naye ne weegamba you know what nja kusaako saa 12 ekyo bw'oba era ng'osobola okikola at least but there is yes before we break up there is that feeling.
Yes, we're going to combat ways, but of course we brought this issue up so that we can discuss it. But you know, before you solve a problem, you identify it.
Yes.
Right now, we've been identifying these things. Right now. By the way, it is a double-edged sword. We are speaking to you as we are also speaking to ourselves because we are in this same digital world. And the amazing thing is, it's just growing. It's just growing. Tugenda kudda mabega nti ate tukozese smoke signal. I don't know
which G now.
No, we are think on 5G or something like that. Yeah, we are going to 6G.
In Uganda we have 5G. But other countries they have already upgraded.
So yeah, digital addiction is a very real thing, and we need to really watch out. We have to be wise. Yeah, we have to be wise.
I was thinking about other ways you could actually check yourself and see. Sometimes you might find that whatever it is you're addicted to, it's still causing you all these negative consequences, but you still don't have the willpower to step away from it. Tochiraba nti nchivemu nti naye ngolaba chikuletedde emichi emitawaana mingi nnyo nayenga you cannot just kucheyawulako
tosobola
mfano gwange you might be
you need to
that is addiction. Meaning that you are addicted.
It might be even affecting your work, your output,
friends,
so you might
social life,
even just siblings. No, you have a brother in the house. I have a friend of mine I know. Her brother has a screen, a TV in the house, in the room. He has everything in the room. Gadget is on now. Like they see themselves breakfast. That is if they see themselves. That's not healthy. We are there to fellowship with each other. We are siblings. One night we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we are going to continue into digital addiction. How the ways to combat it? How can we check ourselves? How to talk to balancing? Please don't touch the dial, but just let somebody know that it is loud. Loud it.
Ku Sunday no aba Victory Christian Center Church bakwaniriza okusinzaako awamu nabo service esooka etandika ssaawa emu paka ssaawa 3 ey'okubiri netandika ku ssaawa 3 paka ssaawa 5 olwo ey'okusatu netandika ku ssaawa 5 paka ssaawa 8 ku ssaawa 8 paka ssaawa 10 bayina ey'olweggulo. Jangu tutendereze tusinzize wamu tusabe era tuwulire ekigambo kya Katonda obulamu bwo tebuusigale kyekimu. Victory Christian Center Church esangibwa ku Old Masaka Road nga wakava ekibuye oba ku Ring Road okulinaana olubiri lwa Ssaabasajja Kabaka.
Ifefe nanga bwe tuli wano Katonda yagenda atufishinga yatujja gyatujje ng'omuntu bw'akwata ebyennyanja n'atugattira mu kintu kino kye bayita ekkanisa. Abantu abalina ebirabo byabwe mubaagale nga bwe bali, musanyuke nabo nga bwe bali, bw'owulira Katonda gw'akoledde kyamagero. Praise God. Oyo gundi bagenda muwasa. Praise God. gamba muliraanwa awo nti eno ekkanisa y'abawanguzi bokka musajja gwerwana nnyo okuwa mukazi w'ekitiibwa naye alwana okukuddiza ekitiibwa ekisingawo competition ebeereko ani asinga okuwa munne ekitiibwa so si ani asinga ekitiibwa enkola ya katonda gwe mukono gwe gw'oliisa abanaku ng'aliisa katonda ateeke mu ngalo ze obugagga obutali bwa bulijjo olwaleero katonda akusumulule abaana bo nabo abawa omukisa obeere n'abaana abalina ebyabwe ng'ate naawe olina ebibyo.
Abolugana mukama ibazibwe amanya gange nze omusumba kakoza saninga nsumba ekkanisa eyitibwa God is Able Church esangibwa Kyengera nebaza mukama nate olw'omulundi omukisa mukama gwatuwadde kubanga tugenda kubeera ku DreamTV buli lwa mukaaga essaawa emu n'ekitundu jangu tubeewo mukama alina message gy'atadde ku bulamu bwange Bayibuli etugamba Zabbuli 26 olunyo olusooka egamba nti nate bwe yazza obusiibwa ssaawa ne balabikanga abaloota ndiwo okulaga olwaleero nti mukama alina ekirooto kye yateeka ku bulamu bwo weetaaga okubeerako omuntu agenda okukulungamya okulaba ekirooto kyo nga kivaayo buli lwa mukaaga ssaawa emu kitundu paka ssaawa 2 ngenda kubeera ku DreamTV mukama bampeera omukisa mweraba.
Praise the Lord. Nkulamusiza mulabi wa DreamTV amanya omusumba Joseph Nsango okuva ku Omega Prayer Global Revival Church tusangibwa egayaza Manyangwa. Tuze ku DreamTV ne program The Prayer Wave ejengo eryokusaba olina ensonga yeetaaga essaala weetaaga Katonda okuyamba waliwo ekyakwata ebibyo abantu abo batawaana ejengo ly'okusaba ye program egenda okubanga esumbulula ennyumba yo olunaku olw'ebbalaza ku saa 12 ku DreamTV tujja kuba tujja okusabako naawe n'ennyumba yo ne bizinesi yo buli lwa bbalaza saa 12 ez'akawungezi toswa program The Prayer Wave n'omusumba Joseph Nsango. God bless you. Amen.
Welcome back from that short break. Like I promised you, it would be short. But danger galokubajukisa before we go into Litulimu. Super Saturday is on Walik Victory Center Mundeba Bambi Jangu Genda yo misinde duka it's still on Radero. The Super Saturday again paka ngasa 12 so tosuba mukisa go tosuba chamagero cho. And before we went into the break, tubadde wano ne tulaba abantu ku our live chat on YouTube, and there are some comments that are very interesting. Please join into the conversation. Tubulire kyolowooza, we shall read them if we can. Obudde buna tuganyiza naye waliwo omulala atugambye abadde agamba nti Harriet, my sister, what you're saying is very true. Social media has actually ruined even marriage. People have no time for their spouses. People have basenga that teach them negative things. Oyo Musoke Timothy kuliko n'abalala wano abalina feedback zebatuwadde, and we are talking about digital addiction, and kino ekintu kya ddala, it is a cancer that is eating slowly by slowly, and you know cancer tewoninga etandika bumu webeze you know kati nga bwe tubadde tubyogeddeko and to be dissecting tugezezaako to show you some of the things that are actually portraying the digital addiction that we are talking about. Kati twagala kumanya omulokole nga bwe twagambye, this thing is almost unavoidable. Yinza okuba toli addicted, but for some reason the line is thin, ogenderera one way or another. Twagala kumanya what can I do, because we're in a digital era, we are in a digital world, we are digital, you know, we are in a digital generation. So what can we do okufuna balance, okweyamba to guard ourselves from, you know, falling prey of the digital addiction. Tukoze tutya. Philip, what can we do? Solution chijo inayoko. What practical thing are you employing in your life? Wango zeno tugamba chitufe simu, yeah, you can't work without it. Tosobola kola without it. Kati ochi balancing ocha no spiritual life yo. Ochi balancing ocha to make sure that you're not stunting as a, you know, as a growing minister.
I think it goes back to, for me, I call it self-discipline. Buli muntu alina smartphone yetaaga self-discipline. Self-discipline, you set up rules and you make sure
that,
yes, you are your own headmaster, you are your own pastor, you are your own everything. For example, oli ku simu, data nagwako kitwale nti kati gwakola mu company data aweddeho tebakya omujeko like that. But if not that, yes, you set up principles, you set up rules.
We are becoming strict.
Yeah, because it is affecting the focus. We can no longer focus. For example, have you ever been in a situation you on Facebook, you are watching a sermon, at the same time there is a soccer or football, Manchester, and you are Manchester?
I'm an Arsenal fan.
Arsenal, Manchester. Okay. You get. So in that situation, what can help us is self-discipline. Why am I not saying discipline? Because discipline, it comes from, it is external. There must be an external force. Yet, most of us, we are independent.
Right. Yes.
You cannot apply force on me. This is I will tell you, I always tell people, people tell me that, "Neo mazov devonje ku TikTok." The first thing I tell them, it's my phone.
My phone, my
data. My data.
So defensive.
You get.
So defensive.
It's my phone, it's my data.
But can I tell you, every time you get defensive on an issue, whenever you find yourself putting your walls up like this, you feel the need to retaliate.
Even your body knows.
Just wegamba it's okay. Nzentegedde kale wano nkubiyewo ekikonde, but when I go back home, kanekubemu touch wali kyabadde bagamba ko wali wensonga. Right.
People even put it on their statuses that if you are not my phone, if you are not my charger, if you are not my data line, I can, because I was reading a status one day, someone had posted saying, if you are not my phone, you are not my data line, you are not my charger, my dear, I can live without you. What does it mean?
Wow.
I cannot live without those. But if you're not my phone, I can live without you.
Wow.
Meaning that you are addicted to it. So the only thing which can help us mainly in this digital, because we need technology.
Yes, we do.
For example, we are sharing these ideas. If it's not a TV, someone will not be watching us.
Yeah,
we need technology.
Internet,
Yes, that's the world.
Philip is talking about self-discipline, and I think among the things we can, when we're looking at self-discipline, we go, let's just bring it home a little. We talked about the pop-up notifications, those push notifications. Turn them off. Especially you've set time.
Yes.
You're a Christian, there's so many things, there's so many stumbling blocks. For us to have that ample time with God. Today wali ku discipline. When you set your time to say that 9 p.m. is 9 p.m. Yesawa jengendo kusaba, yesawa yange yokusoma ekigambo. Please take a push notifications wali wonna ogendo okusaba bane esimu obofuna ekitu nakyo nekitalinako omanyi twogedde nnyo I think about the phone, but nga tugambe there's so many other digital things that are stunting us in that line. Whatever it is that you know you're prone to, chiteke wala nawe and set that time ogambe ngena kusateka ko push notifications. For an example, self-discipline. Another thing, take a good time out. There's a time actually when I found myself sleeping and I'm going into that place, I told myself, bruh, you know what I'm going to do? An hour. Ngenda cause 10 minutes. Guys, I would look at Ngambi. Now it's what time is it? Let me look. It's 4:41. Ngamba at 4:51. Ngenda kuwa mazoku swiping akusimu kuno. Nkole ebirala. Let me tell you, I told my husband, that Mugamba, you know what? This is I'm going to do this, and it worked. Let me tell you, if the 10 minutes are over, they are over. I'm still going to kufa. Nothing is going to happen.
Things develop every day.
All these things that we're addicted to. Tebi gwerera wama console gwerera gwe game wama does it melt away internet egwayo ate kati waliwo batudeka waka internet has telling you guys now people have now abantu abaida nga bagamba munange ogamba when you go to work you're downloading things on your employer's internet kubanga ka wifi kakati bakalese waka
people don't even want to leave home.
Do you know that
thing?
Your limitation was what, like Philip was saying, when data gets over, now the internet is unlimited. So meaning you need other things that you follow that line.
Ngaviva from within.
Personally, I was really leaning into internet addiction or social media addiction. I don't even know what it is. Na ye me change chali money mukama because guys, I would lose phones. No losing a simu, no ulirangu sirira. You're like, how's my life going to go on? How am I going to do this? But for some reason,
for deliverance,
for some reason, nemberanga. I tell now because to ina now smartphone now kanaka small. Emirembe jija small phone mujimani. Obera kuli Justin Tino akubide he's picking up phone calls and messages. Nothing, no. Okay. When and now I got you see what enter that life, you get so comfortable. So I was like, there's actually life without this thing. So Kati the same honestly. Whether I have or I don't have.
Yes, but
that time when we were kubanga fena twende bintu yanjalo betuli addicted to Kati now for you and like me, you might find that social media might be the thing for us. When you are on the akasimu kama pesa, how was your spiritual life like?
Beautiful. Because I mean, that time that I would spend on whatever else over, sometimes I don't even want to spend time on these things. They ain't just because bikuli mo face and baby.
But Priscilla, the problem is not the phone now. The reason that's why you no longer pray is not the phone.
Tugamba is Philip. What you're saying is, of course, we are the governors of these things. Tugamba is it is easier to get into the influence of something and that is why I was bringing up that example. When I started using small phones a lot because my phones would be stolen, nachimanyanti there is life without whatever. Like I can actually deal. When I get back online and I started making, I never had nice pressure messaging. I would find it weird unread messages 80. I'm like, what do you guys be doing? I would be so stressed out by just unread messages, grinning and putting and see. So I'm like, now when I got occasionally people come in off. I'm like, when I see food there, something like that. But for me, I think it was God training me. I'm not saying go and lose your phone. I'm not saying phones are bad, no, but like I'm just bringing out something that's in China country. There's actually life, really. You can live.
There's life even without the smartphone.
But it's not easy.
It's not easy. Business people.
It is not easy because
how to overcome. I mean, there are so many ways, but like what you're saying is like what Loretta was saying, somewhere. Like put it away. If that is your problem, if that is your problem, where we're moving, my hour, I have set this hour is for me and God undivided. But no one knows somewhere. Get a hard copy Bible, get a notebook. You get or the make better distracted mungeri yo nakwana wotima getting distracted push up notifications zikulemi okujjako biganya okola kakati what you do is kanekolere ekirungi kakwate hard copy notification again kuva you're going to stay focused to what you're doing notebook owandike whatever you're writing. So Harriet to kwakakulya ko what some solution join the tour
nze ndowooza sometimes oyisoka n'ozuula nti it's a problem
n'okikiriza yes
okkiriza katuli balokole okitwalako mu mwoyo because if the Bible says mu Galatians ebibala eby'omwoyo self-control n'okaaba
wegayirira omwoyo
nfune ekibala ekyo
ekya self-control ekibanga it is a problem
because sometimes osobola okuwagala nnyo to control nekigaana
And also
no take up alarm no collaborate
set time set time no setting us time kusimu yo naye kwekenyi no jigamba no snooze.
You set 4 times otekako alarm ya mirundi ena nze nakiteekangako nga nteekako nnyo battaano naye nga mmanya nti bwe nteekako emu njagijjako kati nteekako esooka nenjijjako nteekako eyokubiri nenjijjako.
There's still that legend who after the 5th alarm will still push it.
In fact the real snooze and alarm remove.
Atende baba banyivu nnyo nga bagamba kati wachi gwe tewanza okusiza kyokka nga ye yazitaddeko n'azeebakiramu atayagala mukwonako but anyway it could work for you. It could work for you. But also, I think, for example, if you might be addicted to work, the people who even take work home.
Yes.
Why not even just high expectations from the workplace? Bali highly busy. Bali they need their bosses need responses in real time. Katine wesanga ngatwali I know right I know responding to emails but then the kwesanga no yomuntu ngatamanyi where do I end bunkomawa. How about you set realistic expectations with your email response time? Not everything, you know, there's a friend of mine eyangambanga ntino ye yagana ne kumulimu gwe kubanga you know those emails that they set up even on your phone no bere waka you can still receive work emails and you can check them. Yagamba IT people nabagamba I don't want that. I don't want it to be set up on my phone. Tino gwembang nyenze waka. I've closed that work is for tomorrow. Doesn't even that mean that's going around. Ewe tukole batia tubirabe ku Monday unless otherwise very early on Monday morning. Sometimes you might be the person who needs that. Just set those realistic and even for a person who, for example, WhatsApp, banange, you need to understand obana abantu bakweza messages. Now you extend that grace to yourself. Must I answer to everybody now and then?
Banafa.
Can you do you understand that? But sometimes you have that reflection when agenda kunda blue ticks that for kira blue ticks. When I blue tick this person, they're going to say, oh maybe this, or maybe this. But you also have other areas of your life. It's not just chino, yes. Nobody is going to die. Life is not going to come to a halt. Now we know kweli you know what, let me put that on hold. Even for some people, even talk about mental health. Do you know digital addiction has been it's also a form of mental health disorder.
It is. They are getting affected by notifications.
Likes, anxiety,
people cry on TikTok.
You know how many likes
you know?
200 views, 1 like. What?
No, chito folinga yateka yo post ye obanga yalaba some ka picture nakafanagana nga Priscilla akataddeyo kafunye 2K likes. Kati naye n'agamba same ka photo alinza alabe kidalida ne bamuwayo bubiri.
But do you know how it feels ngotaddeyo post ku TikTok? Every 10 minutes you have to check.
Can you imagine?
I really can't.
That kind of addiction.
It's really a thing. But I was talking about that thing. Yes. Life is not going to end.
True.
Take time off.
True.
Just take time off. Don't get nothing to worry.
The thing is already acted. Now I have to self-discipline, all this thing. Like we said, social media, internet, digital, you're not for our good. But technology came for our good. Technology is developing our faith. It is really pushing our faith. We are here on your TV.
Because of technology.
You know, we are here because of technology, but we are talking it's helping you, get your life in order. Now, it goes back to the fact that we are the bosses of it. We shouldn't don't allow your device to kufuga. You talk is internet yo kufuga. Talk is because information is also whatever you use your email to.
Even another thing I'm thinking, if somebody who speaks into your life, gomanyi they have a stake in your life. Takulo what is ayagala okule. Waja never pointing it out. If you know there's no malice, tebaina ibakusadidi. Then agamba, but you know what? I think this also thing is taking you off. Take a minute. To yangu ya kumudamu, to yangu wa kufunye chikonde, right? In the moment when okuuliranga anyigirizibwa, but just take it in good faith. oddeyo wakakimadde ngamba ogambe you know what kati ono omuntu agenza okukiŋŋamba
like you see we're talking about self-control and you doing it as a self-discipline, but you see sometimes oli agenda kugamba the senior self-discipline. If you have a problem with self-discipline or to being honest with yourself, find someone you can be accountable to. Find an accountability partner.
Yeah, true. But you can hide yourself. No one tell him on to supervising on your phone.
You can be supervising, but no, like, you can be honest. No gamba ntize nine chizibunganzo kweyanga. But to get a legend your 50th time
with the smartphone.
Nobody abeerayo yona yona gy'obeera. What if you don't even come to that place of self-awareness? Nina obuzibu. Kubanga abamu, some of you are lucky you have all these people you surrounded with the community. Ni abantu abamu ye bagende wakayagalawo olugi yalugula. Okiraba kakati oyo omuntu.
Most of them.
Ate era esimu efuuka na person. Efuuka just a phone, nefuuka friend, nefuuka neighbor.
And actually in the line of faith, we are more active to notification tones than to the voice of God. Notification tone. You don't know what it means. I was watching a video. Someone yali atadde simu ku meza. Now negenda notification ne popping up. But the attention je yakyukirako kulaba message. Singa your attention because we said it is stunting our faith. We can no longer listen
to God because we're listening
to the voice of God because of the focus.
The spirit and the flesh are contrary.
They are contrary.
All the time. Go feeding whatever it is that you yield yourself to.
So it is challenging us. We cannot about nabanyi tebakyasobola kuwuliriza the voice of God. They can no longer recognize whether it's God, whether it's TikTok. Is it TikTok? Is it God? Is it Facebook? Is it God? You know, that challenge, we no longer have focus. That's why for me, my point, one, self-discipline. You have to develop, set up rules. For example, even waking up early in the morning, you must be able to say, I'm going to wake up at 4. And you wake up at 4.
Yes.
That moment of saying I will wake up and you wake up, it's self-discipline. Yeah. I will switch off data and you switch it off. It's self-discipline.
Then another thing to actually do.
Yes. For example, pornography. Most of the people affected, they're addicted to pornography because of the digital. The other time, but kubirango genda mbibanda okugenda mu bino bibabiranga mu ebyokumansula, those things. But today ekimansulo kiri ku simu and you are alone in your room. You have your data. No one is supervising you. You see that, you get that. Kati, it is very easy to commit sins if you are addicted. If you don't have self-control, you are addicted to pornography because of the phone. You have data. Some of us, we have data ngawa mwezi, but we say I will not. Because even today, obelo liku Bible eyokusimu. And a notification comes up. Pornography. And you say, I will not. Simple.
YouTube tab. We haven't even talked about dictation. I was going to dictation in children next week because you are tell church
very bad.
Church suse. Owe muzadde akulaga nti no omwana we akulidde ku Peppa Pig, omwana gwe akulidde ku sijui, what is it called? I don't know, all those things. Cocomelon. Banange, it goes deeper.
It goes deeper.
Your parting shot is after before we get out of here. Harriet, teacher Nzogama, just in a nutshell.
So it's a self-discipline. No moyo omutukuvu. Nesija muvako. Kubanga ye mubezi hu asobola tuyamba
kudisaninga.
To discern what to watch, like video nyingi on TikTok, but what do you have to
what content are you consuming?
Your content go take akuletera kubanga stani naye akifudde kya kuranisa. Kwagenda laba akagenda kuletera obera addicted nnyo omalirizenga or affected.
Yes, Loretta.
Yes, my parting shot would be Twandigambi would be lying if we say let's push it out entirely. Kubanga nange bagambi this wali kuletera okwono nali gem, but like we said, it is around us, it is ever present. So putting it out might not be the problem, but managing it where you are, how you're using it should be key. Wenga gwe fulnengeri jo managing the digital things that you're using for a better life. Now Olabenga, it's building you, it's helping you go ahead, but not pulling you down. Yes, Philip.
Siwakanya digital, but chengambo mvubuka yena you should develop self-discipline. Bera ne discipline nga gwaje teerawo wetekerewo rules atozi following. Weterewa amateeka nti sawa bwezi tisiba kusimu, sawa bwezi timba kusimu, sawa bwezi tinzijako data, sawa bwezi tintekako data. Zene sawa za kebera TikTok likes. Zene sawa za kebera weterewo ebintu, weterewo rules atozi goberere nti wembera mu church data mujeko oba because mu smartphone mulimu ne kagundi akadisablinga some apps. Disable them mugambe zino tezi wembera mu church TikTok kanjijeko data I freeze them. Kijja kuyamba.
My parting shot to you.
Kantumireko Priscilla just kanawe. Kantumireko mikwano gyanga ba Apex International University. By the ngenda kwesimba nga good president. Yamba tumideko administration bonna mbagala nnyo, may God bless you. Thank you for watching.
Konde tick. Anyway, my parting shot for you guys this weekend is Mukama Abanyambi. Let us go back and assess ourselves. Examine yourself. We didn't bring these things just to, just speak to you. Now we are all examining ourselves. We're checking. What has to be done. But what's most important is rely on the Holy Spirit. Akuyambe. Then be honest with yourself. Be honest. Kiriza ntitino wanundi kasusemu. Nayenga digital is here for us. Digital forever. Digital tambuze chikamo chamkama, and we are grateful. But tuchayogera ku technology and faith the entire month. Please miss the share. Not tell somebody next weekend, same time, same place. We love you. Bye.